Hey guys, this is Ray with DRP Motorsports again. Got our 24 Mustang GT behind us up on the lift, and we're going to install a Corsa catback system on this car to give it a little bit more sound, maybe a little more power. Really don't know, but we'll see in the end when we put it back on the chassis dyno. But mainly we're after sound. So let me show you what we got. So I just unboxed it, partially unboxed it, and this is the Corsa part number 21040BLK. This is a kit that was originally intended for the 18 through 23s that didn't have active exhaust. You've seen them before. They look good, they sound good, high quality. Corsa makes good stuff. We really like their catback stuff and all their exhausts. But we're going to try to fit this on this 24 with active exhaust. Corsa doesn't make a kit per se for the 24s yet that works, that has active exhaust. I talked with Corsa and they said that these actuators are oriented different on the 24s, so the current catbacks will not work on the 24s if you're wanting active exhaust. But I'm going to try a non-active exhaust with quad tips on this car, and I'm going to simply leave the actuators plugged in but strapped up under the car out of the way, and hopefully that'll keep that your warning message from popping up saying that the exhaust system is not active. But we're going to get it on here and give it a go and see how it works. I know it'll sound a lot better than the factory exhaust. Pretty much the same deal as the S550s. You can see right there, still got that suitcase resonator, about 2 3/4 inch pipe. Even it's pretty neck down to about 2.5 inches in some places. So it's fairly restrictive. And got the forward mufflers, and you know, they're not very loud, but we're going to put a 3-inch Corsa on it and see how it sounds and see how everything turns out with the computer. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we'll see. So let's get it on there and we'll go from there. Alright guys, everything is bolted up, and if you just heard the sound clip, we just had the car running. Let me show you everything after the install, how it looks. Just as a reminder, this is a Corsa Xtreme exhaust non-valve version for the 18 through 23 cars, so it doesn't have exhaust valves on it. So you've only got one sound level, and that's loud, but it's not too loud in my opinion. I think it's just right. But anyway, let me show you how it fits. Pretty much everything fit as it should. Didn't have any problems at all. All these Corsa kits, as always, have been, you know, they're well made and they fit very well. I didn't know for sure exactly how it would fit up under this new S650 since it wasn't originally designed for it, but it appears to be that the exhaust systems are pretty much the same between the S550 and the S650. You can see it's got the Corsa double X pipe on it, and everything just clamps together. But as far as the exhaust valve actuators, let me get a light where you can see what I did. So those are the actuators. And what I did, I just took them off the factory exhaust, which is laying over there, and I just simply plugged them back in and zip tied them up under this rear valance out of the way. You know, got the wires tucked back in as they should be, and I've had the car running and I haven't had any messages saying you know, exhaust mode not available. So it appears that the computer is happy right now. That's what I figured would happen, but I didn't know until we tried. So there you have it, guys. You can put a Corsa quad tip exhaust for 18 through 23 on a S650 that had active exhaust from the factory. You know, I know this is not for everybody, and most folks probably would choose to wait until Corsa comes out with an appropriate active system for the 24s, but I only like loud, so it didn't really matter to me, and a non-active system is going to be a little cheaper than what the active system would be anyway, so I elected to give this a try, and everything seems to be well. So next step is, I think I'll put it on the chassis dyno just to see if it makes any difference in power. I don't think that it will. It might make a little, you know, 4 or 5 horsepower, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference of any. And in case you're wondering, that's what these straps are for. This is where I had it on the dyno, making a run on it bone stock just to see what it did. I just selected to leave those hanging there because I would put it right back on the dyno. So let's get it on the dyno and see if it does make any difference. Alright guys, we just made a dyno pull after installing the Corsa Xtreme cap back on this 24 Mustang GT of ours. Now remember, this catback system was originally intended for an 18 through 23 model that didn't have active exhaust. We've got a 24 that came with active exhaust. Corsa doesn't make an actual option for the 24s with active exhaust yet, so we just improvised and installed this system as you saw, but it works fine. And we picked up power, guys. 424, 374. Let me go back to the original pull stock with the factory exhaust system on it. So Alright, that's where we were bone stock with the factory active exhaust system on our 24, 415, 373. So we really didn't pick up any torque, but we did pick up top end horsepower, and you can see that. Looking at the two curves, comparing them, you can really see that it made a difference up top. This system does have the double X pipe on it from Corsa. This is SAE correction, so going from 415 to 424, almost 10 wheel horsepower, I think that's pretty good, not to mention the sound that we gained. So I think maybe the next step for this car is to take these factory taper element air filters off and replace them with a high flow K&N setup. Not going to pull the carbon traps. Honestly, you know, the carbon traps might be worth just a little bit of power if we pull them, but I don't think they're that big of a restriction on a naturally aspirated setup like this. That's why Ford, I think, went to a dual intake, dual throttle body setup, so they could keep the emissions required parts, which are these carbon traps, but not impede airflow into the engine. So I don't think the carbon traps are that big of a deal, but quite possibly these paper element filters could be a restriction, and we'll put a high flow oil cotton filter on it from K&N and see how that turns out. So as always, guys, thanks for following along. Stay tuned for more 24 Mustang content. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you again soon.